Alrighty, I'm going to clean the pond out and see if I can videotape the process. Here's the turtle aquarium, the young turtle aquarium, nursery, and underneath this tarp are all the switches. There's a doorbell, the big black one is a doorbell. The big green one goes towards the waterfall electrical pump area, which is located right there behind the Elvis gnome. I have a little cabinet where I keep all the electrical stuff for the pump. So that's the green one, goes to there. The two black ones go down to the turtle. One goes to the thermometer, temperature controller, and one goes to the pump. And the timer goes to the light in the nursery. So this powering station here is mainly for the aquarium for the nursery, turtle nursery. And this green one that's here, that powers this area here, and that's coming from the garage outlet. And they all come up from around that way like that. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shut off the power to the pump, which is located where I showed you that power station. That power will shut off the pump, and I can then work with the filter that's located in the pond. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to grab my stick. Alright, I've shut off the power, and now I am just grab the filter using the stick. Has a little green hook on it. Made a little wire green hook so it's easier to grab. And then I'm going to go rinse it out. In the yard. Use the stick with a little hook adapter I put on, so I can grab the filter assembly. So the filter assembly is this basket, and this is the top part of it. One goes over the other, and then I'm going to put it on the location on the pond there. There's a canister that's inside the pond that this slips right over the top. And what I'll do is I'll just kind of push this down with my stick and get all the air out of the top part of that filter container. And it looks like I just need to get rid of these plants. I think I'm going to find me some buckets to put them in so they aren't in the way. Because this is going to be enough right here. It's going to grow so much. Next step is to remove the rock cap that's located there at the top of the water fountain, waterfall, and remove the items on top and take off that cover. And underneath is a filtering system, and I'll show you that and how I do that. What I do is I get a bucket and I take all the filtering stuff out of the bucket. So anyway, that's the process I use right there. Some miles of green tape type of filtering system, catches all the moss and debris, junk that comes through the water and through the waterfall hose. And I'll rinse all this out and put it back together. Okay, now I'm just going to show you my rinsing process. What I do basically is I just go through and set this netting area stuff up in this concrete and just rinse the algae off onto the ground area past the concrete. I do this probably in the summertime. Probably try to do it once or twice a month. 3 times a month if the water gets really bad. But in the wintertime, or once after November, so I won't do it at all till about March. Which today is March. We're in the middle of March right now. And as you can tell, there's a big collection of nutty stuff, mucky stuff, algae. Then I just rinse off this concrete area so I can continue to rinse off the rest of the algae off that filter. If these barrels weren't here, I'd probably put it on this other side. It's just a process I go through once in a while, so I don't use a lot of water. Probably about 50 gallons or so in this process. It's not that bad of a lot. Less water than I would use to clean my car. And we do that all the time. The water just goes down the drain. Except for some of the new car washes I reuse the water. This is a great deal. For me, I'm just watering the plants that are right on the other side of this fence. This is actually my first time using this milk crate for this process, and I really like it. I always used the bucket before, but I think this is even a better option. Just found another use for a milk crate. It works great as a stand also. I'm automatically a foot taller with that crate. Alright. Very durable. I've pretty much rinsed everything off. Still some more. Okay, now I'm going to go back to putting it back inside of the container over there. I want to first take a look, show you what's inside. The container is basically nothing, but as you can tell, it's full of moss at this point. What I'll do is I'll scoop all that out with a little plastic cup I have back here. Basically just a plastic a water bottle that I cut the top off of, and I'll get in here and get all this out, rinse it out before I put that thing back in. And I'll be back in a moment to show you. Actually, I'm just going to keep it going so you can see we can see the whole length of the process. It's about 30 minutes worth that you only have to do probably maybe twice a year. Maybe 3 times a year. Depends. It just depends how much algae growth comes up. Cup I was talking about. Basically, I just dump it in this plant area. It serves as good fertilizer for some of the exotics I like growing back here. what I'm doing back here right now is I'm just noticing that my birds of paradise have bloomed. I'm just noticing it right now. Oh boy. Anyway, these are the parts that hold everything, the netting down, and they get pretty yucky too. Those are the first things I took out, besides a brick, a block. You gotta wait. Add a little weight to hold down both of these plastic retaining rings. Now I'm ready to put back my netting, or my I never figure out what it's called. I just call it filtering material. I have a bunch of new of that material, but I haven't used it because I keep using the old one. It's lasted a long time. I'm just putting all this netting material back in there. It's kind of springy, but if you can kind of put it down in there where it'll hold and stay. Put the round one first. Kind of help hold everything in. And then I put the one with the flat end on it facing the front end of the waterfall area. Then I put my rock. And my rock cover. Keep this handy behind here. Add a little ornament stuff back up. Pump's ready to turn back on. And that's about it. Now I'm getting ready to turn the pump back on. The doorbell will ring as a test. And that's the front doorbell. I have a double bell system, one for the backyard. So when we're back here, if somebody comes up to the front of the house and rings the doorbell, we'll know that they're here. The water's going through that filter, double filter system right there. And then back through a hose, and it's going to come out the waterfall area right there. And it looks like it's coming out real nice and clear. And the pond should come back to a real clear status clearer than it is. Right now it's really nice and clear, even with all that muck that was in there, caught in there for the last 3 months. And inside those 2 containers is a UV light. UV light helps eliminate the algae by sterilizing the algae seed components that are born in the water to reproduce algae, and they go through that UV light center filter there, eliminator, sterilizer, and the water is sterilized as when it comes out of the waterfall, so less sterile algae comes down and causes your pond to get really mucky with algae where you can't see through the water. So that does it for my demonstration of what I do here at the Savella Farms Pond, turtle farm / turtle farm. We have goldfish and koi in here, and on this side, of course, is our turtle nursery. As you might be able to see, the little young turtles in here. They're only a year old. They were hatched last year, and they're just happy little turtles in here. Water's nice and warm all the time. They got a heat lamp and an area to bask right there every day. So, and they get fed and nursed. They're ready to be released probably next year into larger ponds. We might release one into this one, but we need to find homes for these guys. Alright, hope you enjoyed this video, and we will catch you another time. Hopefully it comes out good. Bye now.